7 years ago, a little boy named Summer Samit decided to start what he calls content creation, or what the world calls content creation. Little did he know, the first video game gameplay video he published would be the first step into a deep rabbit hole they call the internet. And for 7 years, he was finding his path. And one day he discovered his public speaking skills, his bravery and courage. And the young warrior decided to start making motivational videos, self-improvement, and raw and unfiltered, truthful videos. Little did he know he was stepping into an even deeper rabbit hole they call cancel culture. Little did he know he was going to be victimized for the rest of his life, potentially cancelled, both from the internet world and the real world itself. Little did he know he was going to be victimized, just like a certain individual in South Africa I can describe. An individual who was abused, molested, verbally abused, talked about harshly, more than any other being in the universe, in this country. It's called a woman. And then I thought to myself, is there really such a thing as free speech in this country? Every time someone comes out and says the truth, it's either they're dumped on their head and killed right then and there, or they're cancelled, or they're ridiculed and put in a mental asylum. I could go on and on. Remember the whistleblower about the public hospitals? Remember the whistleblower in China? Ooh, I shouldn't say that. Hey. You want to know what happens when you talk bad about China? That's why I'm sticking with my essay. At least they don't do anything here. Even if I was money laundering money right now, and they knew so, as long as I would give them a share of that money laundered money, they wouldn't do shit, because I gave them some. It's always the what's in it for me game in this country. It's a beautiful place with beautiful animals, but the people who run it are trash. They have more respect for shit stains on gas stations than they have for you and me. And I realized that in a very harsh way a very long time ago. In a time they called the lockdown and pandemic. A time when they locked us up like prisoners, literally, with diseases on every screen, and you had no choice but to watch only that disease they allowed you to watch. And right then and there I realized that was a first-hand demonstration of the power they had over me and you. That was the first-hand demonstration of exactly how much power and fear they could enforce into us. I learned that day firsthand, 14 years old, 2020, that they could delete you and me from this world just like that if they really wanted to. Even better than how Frieza deleted Planet Namek on Dragon Ball Z. They could chop you and I in half. Even better than those Stormbreaker would, if they really wanted to. But the thing is, they're not going to do that, because they're going to make it look like they actually care for us. Scratch out the unemployment, scratch out the teenage pregnancy crisis, scratch out the high school dropout crisis, scratch out the substance abuse crisis, scratch out the inflation, scratch out the corruption, scratch out the fucking millions of mafias that are here. Scratch out the fact that your child is being touched in places by her teachers in ways you wouldn't even touch her. Scratch out the fact that you can't walk alone in the street anymore without being anxious and looking over your shoulder. Scratch out the fact that cyberbullying has taken a giant toll on this country. Scratch out the fact that cyberbullying is grabbing this country on chokehold. Scratch out the fact that behind the curtains of this rainbow nation, all we are is just a group of humans fighting for a top spot that doesn't even exist. Because the people at the top aren't exactly the people at the top. They think they're in control, whereas they're not. Nobody is. We live in a win-lose mindset world. I get a bigger piece of the pie, which means you get a smaller one. We've been indoctrinated like that since we were little. You want to know who else has been indoctrinated like that since they were little? I know I've been. I managed to break free from it. I don't know how, but God blessed me to. God instilled this talent in me. You want to know who else? It's you. You watching this. That's why you clicked here. Because you knew this kid is onto something. But you also noticed something strange. This young man is very underrated. Why does his views get things like 15, 30 views, maybe even less than 100 a week? Why does someone like Summer Sambit get less than 900 views in a month, whereas you have people who all they have to do is make couples exchange phones and fight with each other in public to get millions of views and make twice as much money as Summer does? Who does more work here? Who's the winner here? Who's the workman? Who's the one risking his life more? Streamers. All streamers have to do is be in a bathtub full of hot models, the hottest women you can think of, and they get millions of views. Someone like me, who sits shirtless outside talking the truth, spitting some gospel? Hell no. Who wants to watch that? Who wants to watch Summer Sambit talk the truth? Who wants to watch Summer Sambit expose the higher authorities? We know he's gonna get deleted anyway. Give him like a few months. Kids like him, they don't like kids like him. They gon' delete him. They gon' delete his ass. Actually, YouTube is already shadow banning him. And he refuses to acknowledge the warnings he's been given. So what are they going to do to him next? Off with his head. Let me put you on game real quick. What was the greatest trick the devil ever played on the world? It was making them believe he never even existed. And what is the greatest trick a politician ever played on you, an SA politician ever played on you, a South African? Making you believe everything is okay. Cyril Ramaphosa could come and stand here right next to me, and the views on this video would skyrocket. High. Terrible. Terribly high. Not because he's gonna spit some gospel, but because it's Cyril Ramaphosa, the president. The president is next to the shirtless kid outside, who looks insane. As handsome as ever, but he looks insane. He's got a $5 million mindset, but a 5-cent body. He looks insane. And Cyril could come here and stand next to me and lie to you and say he's gonna build you watching this video 3 mansions. And then by the end of the year you find out he didn't do that. He didn't do shit. And then he gives you an excuse. He says no because I couldn't find your location, or no because I was busy doing other things. And you'd believe him. You wouldn't mind. Why? Not because you knew he wasn't telling the truth, but it's because it's fucking Cyril. And you know you can't do shit. That's why you're gonna believe him. Politicians here like to make it look like everything is okay. Guys, it's fine, it's fine. Even if they touch our children in strange ways, even if our women are getting molested now more than ever, even if the prisoners have some PS4s and some gaming consoles you'd never have in your childhood. How they get that, I don't know. Even if drug abuse is destroying your children and your youth and you watching this video right now. Even if pornography is promoted better than it ever was before. An OnlyFans girl can shake her ass and make 10 times more money than the person who built the house standing next to me. That's the world we live in now. You live in a world of politicians that lie to you and inject all this indoctrination into your brain. And then when someone like me shows up and tries to tell you the truth, they gon' cancel me faster than Sonic the Hedgehog running downhill. Why? You tell me. Goodbye. But before I say goodbye, sorry, answer me this. Is there really free speech in South Africa? If there's not, if there is no, then can you imagine how useless this video is? How meaningless this video would be? Why am I even making this video if there's no free speech in South Africa? I mean, I know there's no free speech in South Africa, so why am I bothering making this video? It's because I know people are going to watch it and people are going to speak out. If I knew there were going to be some assholes watching this video who weren't going to do shit, then I wasn't going to bother. But I know there's strong people watching this video, strong people who are going to change their lives forever after watching this video. Their lives are never going to be the same again after watching me. And as long as I know that there's that one person, that one young man, that one young lady who watched this and never had her life the same again, I'm cool. Hey, changing one life is better than destroying 1,000. You want to know who destroys 1,000? The politicians. Speaking of meaningless, you want to know what else they see as meaningless in this country? The woman. And if you don't believe me, look at the stats. Who's abused more? Who's shamed more? Who's bullied more cyberly, in the cyber manner and the physical manner? Who commits more self-harm? Who commits more suicides? The suicide rates have doubled since lockdown. I can tell you it ain't the boys. The boys are starving. Not in the good way though. And the ladies, they're not heard. Your little girl comes back home. She looks off. You ask her what's wrong. She says everything is fine. You know everything is not fine, but she doesn't want to talk about it. Why doesn't she want to talk about it? Because she knows nothing is going to be fucking done. She knows you're going to tell her everything is okay and that's it. She knows no one is going to be arrested. She knows nothing is going to fucking happen. So what's the fucking point of telling you? Nothing. You say, and it's funny, I talk so much about SA politics and everything. You want to know what they say about me? Nothing. They don't give a shit. You talk a lot about SA politics. We talk together. We talk with each other a lot. You want to know what they say about you? nothing. They never gave a shit. In fact, you were unknowingly excluded. If you're a poor child watching this video, you were unknowingly excluded because big companies that are supposed to be funding students like NSFAS actually admitted to unknowingly excluding you. For those of you who don't even know what that is, unknowingly excluding is leaving something out without even knowing it was there. So basically, not only do they not care about you, they didn't even know you exist. So there you have it, genius. There you have it. The truth, once again, given to you by the GOAT. And I've proven once again that no one is going to change your life except for you. And you know that. I'm not the first one to tell you that. But if you want to do it in this country, good luck. Goodbye.